Tate McRae's makeup wipe barely touched her face. Neutrogena turned the backlash into a joke. And then, before the internet finished laughing, Hayden Panettiere dragged the brand back into a much darker conversation. That is where this story changes. The plane video looked like one celebrity campaign gone lazy. The week that followed made it look like a brand losing control of its own history. And while that was happening, Tarte mailed a creator a surgical plan for her face. Manic Panic picked a fight with an indie makeup brand, and one of the most important names in Black beauty quietly walked away from Sephora. This week, beauty did not need a launch calendar, it needed damage control. The Tate clip is only the first domino. She opens the white packet on a private plane, gives the product its close-up, makes a few careful passes around her forehead and eye, then moves on with the stage makeup still visibly intact. The blue moisturizer jar gets its own moment. The routine ends. Almost nothing on her face appears to change. Viewers replayed it because every gesture looked like the symbol of skincare without the satisfying part where skincare actually does something. For Neutrogena, that should have been an awkward sponsored post that vanished in a day. Instead, the white became more famous than the routine. Neutrogena chose not to fight the internet. Its official response treated the wipe like a celebrity adjusting to sudden fame. That was clever because it stopped the brand from sounding defensive. It was also a gamble. Once a company turns criticism into content, it tells everyone the criticism is worth keeping alive. The joke generated another round of shares, another round of product close-ups, and another reason to watch Tate's face frame by frame. If attention was the objective, the ad worked spectacularly. If credibility was the objective, the brand still had not shown the one image viewers wanted: makeup actually coming off.
I'm really good at cleansing your face, but am I even better at causing a scene?
So when I got that call that Neutrogena wanted to fire me over that, and my representative at the time said, that's illegal. You can't do that.
Then Hayden Panettiere's interview returned to the feed. Hayden says she had worked with Neutrogena for 10 years. According to her account, after she sought treatment for postpartum depression, the relationship ended and she received no personal message asking whether she was okay. That accusation is why the week's tone changed so quickly. A cheeky answer works when the problem is a useless-looking wipe. It lands very differently when people are also asking how the same brand treated a longtime ambassador during a mental health crisis. The two stories are not the same event, but the timing fused them into one reputation problem. What does this company look like when the campaign face stops being easy to market? This time, Neutrogena answered seriously. The company said it understood that the experience made Hayden feel unsupported, and that this was not what the brand wanted to stand for. It also pledged a significant investment in a community health partner supporting postpartum depression. No meme, no wink, no celebrity wipe. The contrast is the whole point. Within the same week, Neutrogena used humor to absorb one backlash and money plus institutional language to answer another. That may be appropriate to the different stakes. It also reveals how fast modern brand personality disappears when the story becomes genuinely dangerous. So did Tate's ad backfire? It did something stranger. It made Neutrogena the main character at exactly the moment an old ambassador story was about to become new again. The plane clip created attention. Hayden's account changed what that attention was looking for, and the brand's two radically different responses turned one bad demonstration into a full week of reputation management. The lesson is not that every joke is a mistake. It is that rage bait borrows attention from the future. When the next allegation arrives, all those people are still watching.
A fairly disturbing PR package. I will show you this package. I think you're going to be rather shocked by it. I am not going to name the brand. However, I just want to have a broader...
Tarte's week began inside a PR box. Creator Maria Helen Rue says the package included a screenshot taken from her Instagram marked with dotted surgical lines, plus language naming procedures such as rhinoplasty, a jaw lift, and Botox. face. The product was a contour stick. The fantasy was that makeup could give you the snatched result without needles, but the package made that fantasy personal. It did not mark a model hired for the campaign, it marked the face of the woman opening the mail. Maria's reaction turned a playful surgery metaphor into a much uglier question. When did beauty marketing start assuming every woman wants a list of things corrected?
Our creative strategy is to own the plastic surgeon in a stick positioning. Every concept turns the idea of skipping the needles into a viral moment that immediately communicates.
The uncomfortable twist is that Tarte was not hiding the strategy. Its own CEO explained the influencer seeding, the glambulance, and the plan to make every concept a viral moment. After the backlash, the company said the campaign was meant as fun contour language, not a prescription for surgery. Then came the numbers. Tarte told Modern Retail that 96% of measured conversation was positive, the product sold 2.4 times forecast, and 65% of initial inventory moved in 7 days. That does not erase Maria's experience. It proves why brands keep walking toward the line. The backlash may be emotionally expensive for the person turned into content, while remaining commercially profitable for the company that sent the box. The third fight began with two products that were not even in the same category. Manic Panic has a hair color called Deadly Nightshade. Necromancy Cosmetica used the same name for a lipstick shade. Necromancy says it received a cease and desist, followed by pressure involving existing stock. A dry legal dispute could have stayed inside an inbox. Necromancy turned it into theater, a love letter setup, a dramatic collapse, a mock funeral, and a rename designed to make the legal threat part of the product story. Deadly Nightshade became ceased and deceased. Manic Panic had the older, more recognizable name and the formal pressure. Necromancy had the better camera instinct. Every element of the response was physical. The envelope, the lipstick, the funeral styling, the new label, and the photo shoot. The indie brand did not need a full legal lecture. It needed a visual people could understand in 2 seconds. Big legacy brand sends letter. Small gothic brand rises from the grave. That does not decide who is legally right. It decides who looked more fun on the feed. And in beauty drama, the side with the stronger visual often wins the public mood before anyone reads the fine print. The last story is quieter, but it may matter longer. Fashion Fair and Sephora ended their retail relationship by joint decision. Fashion Fair's owner said the fit was wrong. The Sephora customer was not the brand's core customer. That is a striking admission for a prestige beauty company because Sephora is usually treated as the destination every brand is supposed to chase. Fashion Fair is a legacy name built around Black women, especially consumers who remember buying complexion products at department store counters long before inclusive shade ranges became marketing language.
Is every woman that loves Black women or is a Black woman, and so the brand is inspired by Black women.
The brand is not disappearing. It remains at Macy's and is considering channels closer to the customer it says actually buys the product, including community and beauty supply retail. That makes the Sephora exit less like a public failure and more like a rejection of prestige beauty's default map. A retailer can offer visibility and still put a brand in front of the wrong shopper. A famous shelf is not automatically a profitable shelf. Fashion Fair spent decades building trust with a specific customer. The next move is to stop treating that customer like a demographic to be rediscovered only when the industry needs an inclusion campaign. 4 stories, 4 versions of the same power struggle. Neutrogena tried to turn mockery into reach, then had to answer a much heavier accusation. Tarte turned surgical anxiety into a sales engine. Necromancy turned legal pressure into a gothic punchline. Fashion Fair decided the biggest beauty retailer was not automatically the right room. Which move was smart and which one crossed the line? Start with Tate. Did Neutrogena rescue a bad ad, or did the joke keep the spotlight alive just long enough for the rest of the week to get worse?